if you want to dream big, you need to will big. He was defining Kairos as how many times in your daily chronos are you able to provide anybody with love? Guys, if you want to change the world, you need to have the means to do so. And how much is important, if you think about this region, empowering the young population. If you want to grow, ask for feedback. I fail a lot. That's more difficult. Taking a risk, it's easy. How are you going to stand up after your failure? How are you going to love yourself? Don't lose confidence in yourself. And if you lose confidence in yourself, nobody will believe in you. Nobody.
Hello, Inners community. My guest today is an adrenaline hunter and a thrill seeker, an outstanding horse rider, a wave and snowboard rider, add to that being a sky jumper and a sea diver, also true story, a great car driver, an exceptional human being, and an animal lover. A person so brilliant to find the time to excel throughout a fascinating journey, starting from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs as a sovereign wealth expert to the visionary Neom in Saudi Arabia, and currently holding the role of Sustainability Director at PwC Middle East. The pride of Italy, Dr. Celeste Cecilia Lo Turco. Welcome to the Inners.
Thank you very much, Ali. I'm so grateful to be here, and thank you for this brilliant initiative. I think that it's fantastic what you're doing and allowing us to empower each other, to learn from each other, and to be here inspiring others.
Thank you again for taking the time from your very, very busy schedule. I'm sure everything that you're going to mention here will be extremely valuable and inspiring to a lot of people. So if you could kindly walk us through your professional journey from where you were back home in Italy, United Nations, as far as I remember, and to PwC in Dubai.
With pleasure, Ali. It's been a journey. It's been a transformational journey that I'm very glad to share. And hopefully it will be something that will excite, inspire other young, not only Italians, but other young people, not only girls, to believe in themselves and seeking opportunities and grow along the way. The mini-me started in Italy with great dreams and ambitions. And I guess was wise enough to understand that if you want to dream big, you need to will big. So I spent a lot of time working and studying at the same time to equip myself for the journey. It was a real journey. They brought me to the desert, to the mountains, to the amazing cities, amazing people, but you need to be prepared. And the first things, I guess, that I put in my bag, in my luggage, it was mentors, people. It was advice. I guess that everybody starts small and start humble and start thinking, how can I learn? Who are my role model? Who I want to be, what I believe, what I stand for. And I guess that was the beginning of my journey. And at the beginning, I said, of course, I want to contribute to this world to be a better one. And as naive as it sounds, it's something that actually I try to transform into reality and into a daily job. And I guess I have the luxury that few people have to transform what your beliefs, your faith in your daily job and potentially enjoying it with the ups and downs, with the frustration, with the challenges, but ultimate in thinking, well, I made it at least to do something I enjoy and I think can make the world a better place. And having said that, I analyzed and I said, who are in the world the actors that actually have in their own mandate, in their own role, a financial element, of course, but as well a social element, what we call nowadays a double or triple bottom line. So who are around the world those financial entities that can, beside, of course, generating money, use this money to support future generation, transfer wealth to future generation, as well as having a social impact and potentially also an environmental impact. I was fascinated when I learned about sovereign wealth fund because I understood that in their own mandate, they had this role, changing their nation, changing their economy, and support the young generation to become the leader of the future, not only at the national level, but at the global level. Wow, I was fascinated. And that's where I realized that, and to be very honest here, that if you want to drive change, you need to have faith, whatever you believe in. You need to have ideas, you need to have people, but sometimes you also need to have means. So I don't want to consider means as the devil part of the story. I want to be very pragmatic and realistic. And I think this is the right way, or maybe this is my way, the realistic as well as visionary approach, and without any doubt, ambitious and as well humble. And I guess if I need to share something with the future generation of leaders, I would always say, be bold, be ambitious, but as well be humble. And be even more humble than what you are bold. And the moment you're humble, you will grow. So I had the opportunity to be supported in my full journey by amazing people, amazing leaders. They inspired me, they supported me. And I had the opportunity to move from the Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, where I was one of the youngest advisors of the Minister of Foreign Affairs on Sovereign Wealth Fund. Move my inspiration, my passion, my drive, but as well, I realized I need to support all this by solid background. And that's when I started, again, supported to look at how can I solidify my background. And I decided, oh, maybe I should enroll in a PhD program. And I had the opportunity, supported again by amazing people, to won the Fulbright grant from Georgetown University in Washington, and to have the opportunity to study while I was working. So again, the support of the chairman of the company I was working in Dubai to progress with my study, as well as to work as vice president strategy of $1 billion fund, privately owned. Again, I guess that says a lot. Gain the support of people, and you will arrive high. Be committed, be determined, be ambitious, be honest, be humble. And I guess that's what brought me to the Middle East, the first big jump of my life. As you might know or might not know, because Celeste is an Italian name, that means belonging to the sky. And nowadays I feel my sky is Dubai sky, or the Middle Eastern sky. As you know, I've been in Dubai, I've been in Saudi as the next step of my journey. But I guess that I feel I found my second home. So having spent 7 years in Dubai, becoming part of the family that was actually my employer, I've been lucky enough, blessed enough to receive a call from a headhunter to ask me, do you want to join the biggest and most visionary project in the world, Neom, the city of the future? Neos from the Greek new, and al-Mustaqbal, the new future.
Correct. The M means Mustaqbal, M in Arabic. Yes.
So together, if you think about it, have done classical study, my classical studying understanding of Neos, and my new life in the Arab world with Mustaqbal. And funny enough, the company I was working for was Future Company. So Al-Mustaqbal is kind of, and I live Al-Mustaqbal Street, so it's always there.
Wow.
And I guess that's something very important. I always tell the people I work for and the people I'm empowering at work and out of work, and I had the opportunity to give back to community. This is something that all of us, we need to do, doesn't matter where we are, to tell them, guys, you need to be future-proof. There's nothing like today that they need to know where the world is going, where is the need, where preferences are going, new trends. Look at the future. And said by an Italian, that sit on an amazing artistic, cultural, historical heritage is something. And maybe that's why I'm so fascinated by the Emirates, a country that made of the future the unique value proposition. and not only with the Museum of the Future, not only reaching Mars, is a mindset. It's moving from being humble. We might not have this strong artistic or cultural heritage. We will earn the future. We will lead people with our visionary approach to the future. And that was created Dubai, a vision from the port.
And indeed, they managed to do so. And as I always say, of course, we can see it all around us. And the biggest proof is having people like you and brilliant minds coming to Dubai and choosing it to be their home and their place of work and impact. And this impact can reach beyond Dubai and the region even to the rest of the world. And this is really, really admirable. And it's even more admirable when we know the challenges that a person, and especially someone like you, had to overcome to be where they are today. Can you, if it's something that you can disclose, share part of the failures, the challenges that you had to overcome?
Definitely. If you allow me to start just praising even more the UAE, and then I'm jumping on the challenges that I'm very happy to share in the country.
Wonderful.
I think that the biggest achievement of the UAE is that they transform an infrastructure miracle into an ecosystem, in fertile ground where people can come and not just live in one of the safest places in the world with a very high level quality of life, but they can grow. And that's the real challenge. And that's what I'm an ambassador for. I've been working for Giga projects around the world. And what I always said, building infrastructure, it's easy. If you have the money, if you have the capacity, you can attract talents. But building ecosystem, this is something very unique. And that's what Dubai really achieved, where people are happy to come because they found fertile ground to grow. That's unique. Having said that, of course, it's not always easy, the road. There are a lot of bumps. And I face them. And I'm still facing them. If you think about leaving my country, being in a different world, different culture, even though I would not see so different from Italy, and my father's from south of Italy, so there are not so many differences, actually. However, I guess that one of the biggest challenges I face, beside, I would say, the minor ones, such as you need to be very committed, you need to be very organized, you need to be very determined, and you need to be so focused on what you want to achieve that the rest just bounce. And sometimes when you have too many opportunities around in terms of work or people, you don't know what to choose. And I guess that the paradox of choice is something that everybody who comes to Dubai, who I want to become, who I want to spend my time with, what I believe, what I stand for. So I guess the first challenge is really understanding your values and how you can reflect your values in your daily life, which people you want to surround yourself by, and who you want to work for. And it's not just in terms of employee salary or materialistic approach, is which dream I want to support, which dream I want to build. And that's very important. It could be my own dream, maybe the government I'm supporting dream, or it could be a visionary dream. So that's the first challenge, and it's quite important how you structure it. The second challenge is that, let's say now you started your journey. You have a clear mind, you have a clear roadmap, you know where you're going, you know what you need, and you're determined. And you learn after 2 or 3 mistakes, okay, fine. Then I think it becomes really hard because you start self-doubting yourself. You will. This is our path. You go along the path and say, did I choose the right path? Is this the right path? This is the right place where I am. And this is the most difficult part because it's very easy to give up. You can give up in relationship. You can give up in friendship. You can give up a job. You get another. And I think it's very interesting making a comparison between my professional and personal life. Endurance competition are not about who's the faster in the first 40 kilometers. actually he's the faster along the road. Who's going to be there when the road is steep? Who's going to be there after 100 kilometers when you have the last 20? And trust me, the last 20, you are like, why exactly I'm doing this? So it's the same on your professional career. The more you advance it, why exactly I'm here? And you're tired, and you're less inspired, and less excitement. There's more commitment. There's more wisdom on your role, on why you're there. And then actually, it's a change and turning point where you're not asking for help, when you're asking yourself who I can help. Now, who I believe, who I'm going to help to go even further than me. Because that's the measure of your success. How many people are better than you? Because if you succeed, it's you. Well done, Mabruk, Walfonbruk. But how many people are you supporting? And I guess, being a woman, and proudly so, we need to do better. We need to empower, not just future generation. This is kind of a must. But we need to empower each others. And trust me, the male environment is much more supportive than the female environment. We need to be better among each other. I must say that I've been surrounded by amazing women. One of them was my grandmother, who inspired me, actually. And I have young generation inspiring me. And that's another element, I guess, is very important, is when you are along the way, one of the challenges you face, you feel alone. And you feel, how can I do the next step, the next big step by myself? And this is a big challenge. And if you think you can do everything by yourself, talking about mistake, done. Mm-hmm. Tick the box, yeah, done it. I can do everything. No, you can't. And anyhow, even if you can, you will pay the price, your personal life, your health. We know all this, right? But still, you will arrive here. If you really want to go big, build your network, build your support system. Don't think you can make it alone. You won't. And of course, and it's very individual, if you believe whatever you believe in, you never think you are alone. Ask for help, whatever you believe in. And it will surround you with the right people. It will give you the capacity to understand which is the right opportunity and the patient to wait for the right time. I guess another thing I would really want to share with the young generation, well, of course, you feel you're amazing, you're perfect, you're so fast, and you want everything now. Sometimes it's really worth it to lose some battles and win the war. So patience is of essence, like time. So sometimes you have the right opportunity, not at the right time. Let them go. I made my own mistake. I took the wrong opportunities. I lose the right opportunities. So how we overcome this? Learn from your mistake, but love yourself. Love yourself. Forgive yourself. And the moment you love yourself, you forgive yourself, you can love others and forgive others. And I see this from a very strong point of awareness, where I was so strict and so ambitious and so really rigid, because if you want to achieve, that's what you need to do, right? And let's be honest, you need to be super organized, have a full schedule, but then you lose a little bit of empathy, a little bit of humanity. You're in a rush. Is it really worth it? This rush. And this is, if we extend this at the global level, the world is running. It's running. And then I go back to the countryside in Italy, and people don't feel this. They are telling you about the tree, the fruits, and you are asking yourself, if I'm going to go a little bit slower, is really changing something for the economy of the world? Might not. And you go back to say, we should be driven, we should be committed, but as well, we should be very aware that we need to take the right time and the right decision, respecting ourselves and others. And sometimes I always think about the farmer in the countryside of Italy that looks at you and say, like, the war is going on anyhow, so take it easy.
Wow, this is so powerful and very, very moving. I'm really seeing things from a different perspective. I would like to go to Italy and sit with that farmer and learn from him. because it's not only those big leaders and mentors that you mentioned can also open our eyes and minds to a different perspective, but even the most humble person, everyone can contribute. And this is what we're trying to do here, even at our podcast with the Inners community, is to learn from each other. And each one holds a true secret and a true gem within themselves. And let everyone unveil what they have in their inner core and exchange these powerful messages, and the world will be a better place. As we always say, curiosity is the key and kindness is the cure. So yes, we have to be kind. We have to be kind to ourselves first, love ourselves so we can love others in a better way. And I want to know throughout your journey how you managed to make the world a better place. Maybe you can touch a little bit upon your role at the United Nations.
Definitely. So before going to that, I guess that it all starts on your daily life. Okay. You need to measure your action. And I want to mention something, and then I go to the United Nations, just because the United Nations is easy one.
Okay.
So in my spiritual journey that I think is an important one, as well as the personal, professional one, I had again a great spiritual father, who taught me a very interesting difference on how you calculate time.
So interesting.
And this is something that I want to share. So, of course, in Italy, most of us, we have classical study background, so I was using ancient Greek words, but they're very easy. So we're saying, everybody lives the chronos, the time of our life. But very few people know how you can transform chronos into kairos. Mm-hmm. What is kairos? And I was like, I was pretending, like, sure, okay, like, I know. It's like, do you really know? Like, Google it, I couldn't Google it, left the phone. I was like, what is kairos? So basically, kairos is the opportunity to transform every single second of your life in an opportunity. In his word was of pray, but we can say an opportunity of kindness. And I think it's very important. And what he was trying to say is that you should not be kind when it's required. And if you believe in any religion, whenever you are performing any religious act, and then after that, you are not the kind person anymore. Mm-hmm. So he was defining kairos as how many times in your daily chronos are you able to provide anybody with love? And it goes with your security guys, and it goes with your colleague, and most important, the one you don't like, and so on and so forth. So I learned this, and I guess I want to share this because in a way it's much easier to say, of course, every time in my life, I ask myself, and we go back, what I stand for. And I said, again, let's not reduce the financial means as something that's evil. It's not. Actually, I really want to tell the future generation, guys, if you want to change the world, you need to have the means to do so. And the financial means are important for your own life, for your own work, and for anything you want to do for the world, right? Mm-hmm. To have an impact. But they are a mean, not an objective. So as long as you have them as a mean, you need to understand which is your objective. And have the opportunity to work for the United Nations and to work for visionary project and to work for PwC as a lead of sustainability. So helping the government of these parts of the world, not only governments and private sector, to be more sustainable, to achieve their net zero targets, UAE 2050, Saudi 2060, Bahrain 2060, to promote their agenda. That's not just environmental agenda, a social agenda or governance agenda. And how much is important if you think about this region, empowering the young population. What the Minister of Energy of Saudi Arabia called our oil. He said, our oil is not our petrol. It's not what we pump from the ground. It's our generation of future leaders. And the average age in Saudi Arabia is 35 years. So if you can think about that being your richness, that goes beyond reserve of oil that sooner or later will finish, or the economy will transform. And that's what's happening from a hydrocarbon-based economy into a diversified economy, into a renewable energy economy. So when you look at that, I always had the opportunity to work to support bigger cause. And again, I'm not so detached from reality. That's why I don't want to be seen as just a visionary, ambitious, but we need to be grounded. All this should be able to provide you enough finance to have the quality of life you want, but also to have the impact you want through your own foundation, through your own charity, or just with the freedom to decide who you can work for, which is your cause. And your cause is something that you need to do every day in your work and when you're out of your work. And being in a sustainability space is very easy because you have this dilemma every day. You need to walk the talk. So whatever you do is something that needs to support what your beliefs and what you're preaching to your clients. So from what you dress, which is the material, who made it, there was any exploitation of human labor, where it's going to go after you have used it. So it's a very interesting way to see how your work actually supports the change in your private life and those around you. And as well, I think it's very important, and I really would like to share this with our audience, to find a job that is important for you, not just as a job, but as for you the opportunity to support your own dreams and belief. And that's what happened with me with the United Nations. I was very lucky indeed to have the opportunity to work for one of the biggest organizations in the world and support them in, of course, promote peace and economic growth and protection of the least. And I guess this is very important. But that's why I wanted to put together the high-level approach with your daily life. Because if you do this in your job sometimes, and I go back when you ask me for the challenges, I want just to say a few words about that. One of the challenges that you face, let's say we saw the first phase, the second phase now, let's say you have established yourself. Mm-hmm. You can become arrogant. You can become so detached from the reality that you are working on project, on papers, but your daily life is detached from what was your belief. And that's when you go back to the farmer. Then when you go back doing charity work with kids, just to understand, okay, where I was starting from. What was really my dream? Because especially when you live the life in Dubai, one of the challenges is to keep yourself humble, grounded. Surround yourself by humble and grounded people that remind you every day who you were and who you are now, yes, of course, but support you to continue to grow. And also, when you arrive, you think, okay, that's it. No, that's just the beginning. Then you have different kind of temptation, if you want to call it like this. There's the temptation of the power, the temptation of the money, there's the temptation of losing yourself. That's even worse than all the rest. Who am I exactly? Who I became? Oh, no. Check in. Okay. All right. I'm the one I wanted to become. Am I expressing this every day? Small example. I really wanted to have a special breed dog. And then I found a dog with a totally different breed than mine. And it's the best thing happened in my life. And I found it was the best gift. Was ticking the box? No. Would I have left a dog on the street because it's not the dog I wanted? It's a very small example, but just to tell you, be always faithful to what you believe and what you stand for, because that's what brought you there. And that, if you're missing to be loyal to that, will bring you down. And Ali, I guess that maybe the most important advice I would give to everybody, and the first person I want to give this advice myself, is you need to have fun in whatever you do. And you need to be a fun person. And that's why I always told myself, be a fun person. And I put in my life, beside the very high commitment we discuss on the professional life, something that will always remind me of me as a child. Not only about my inner child, but me as a child. Sport, adrenaline, fun should be there. Really, fun is the recipe for success.
Okay.
And irony. You need to be able to laugh at yourself, specifically when you make mistake. You need to look at your team and say, guys, fine, I made a mistake. Okay, fine, what are we going to do now? But the fun part, I think, was an important element, an important recipe for success.
So what is that secret recipe and secret formula to balance both and excel at both?
Wow. I'm not sure I found it yet. I'm still, striving and what is the real good mix and balanced way for it. I guess go with the flow.
Okay.
Guys, go with the flow. You need to go with the flow and know when is the right moment to do the right things. I focus a lot on my sport career. As you know, I was an international show jumper before my big accident, and an international endurance rider and snowboarder. And I guess that what made it possible to put together and to balance sport life and professional life, it was the capacity to transfer whatever I was learning, riding horses specifically, into my professional life. No kidding. So when I was, kind of bored of directors at Neom, and I was like, you made it. You remember? You jumped 140 in Abu Dhabi. You made it. You can do this. This is not so difficult. Discipline. Okay, I did it. I can do this. And then it was the commitment of waking up every day at 5:30 and going riding my horse. When you don't want, when strangely it's raining once per year, it's fine. Or when it's too hot, when you're tired, when maybe you party too hard the night before. I don't party, of course. And I guess that if you're able to transfer to your professional life, you're a winner, inshallah. The effort you make when you want to excel in sport, the discipline you learn, and most importantly, how many times you fail and you need to stand up. That's the most important thing. And I guess the feedback I have from the people I work now, from my partners, I really love them. And please, guys, you always need to ask feedback. If you want to grow, ask for feedback. And I'm very annoying. They're like, you're too old. You're still asking us for feedback. Like a kid. Yeah, give me feedback. And one of the best feedback I received is that you're resilient. How comes an Italian lady with a mom who's coming from the fashion industry is so resilient? What happened? Riding horses for 120 kilometers in Alula, in the mountains, when it's very cold in the morning and you're like, guys, it's worse than Italian mountains. And then it's very hot, you become resilient. So when you are able to transfer and also to accept your failure and stand up after your failure, second feedback I had to work. I fail a lot. Everybody's failing. And even I think one of my major limits in growing professionally was I didn't want to fail. So when you don't want to fail, you don't take risk. So you are a good professional person, potentially even a good person, but you don't excel. If you want to excel, the problem is not taking risk. The problem is how you're going to manage the failure when you're going to take a risk and fail. So that's why I started doing all the kind of adrenaline sport. Go, don't be scared, and give it a shot. Okay, I learned this. But the second learning is, okay, fine, now you can take any kind of risk, bravo, but you're going to fail. That's more difficult. Taking a risk, it's easy. How you going to stand up after your failure? How you going to love yourself? Don't lose confidence in yourself. And if you lose confidence in yourself, nobody will believe in you. Nobody. That's the important part. So what I want to leave the audience with is take risk, calculated risk. I'm a woman, we are risk adverse. So calculated risk. But learn from your failure. And you will be really the most successful one, because you will be the one laughing at your mistake, looking back and say, haha, but that was amazing. Actually, you will not call them neither mistakes. You will call them experience. I'm a very experienced person. You don't know what I've done. And trust me, I broke 3 times my finger, 1 time my shoulder, and lately 3 bones on my leg. So don't do horse riding. I'm kidding. And I'm still riding. So be resilient, be bold, embrace life, and go with the flow.
And enjoy the ride.
And enjoy the ride.
Right?
And have fun.
Waves and horses and oh my gosh, what a story. And how do you feel even after all of those injuries and the latest big accident?
Stronger. That's
the right word. No more questions. I rest my case, Your Honor. So now we come to this part of the show where I'm going to ask you about...
I'm excited.
Your 8 favorites. What's your favorite dish?
Cannelloni, ricotta, e spinaci.
Mm-hmm. Can you please translate that?
Italian, very famous Italian dish. A lot of calories. So that's why it's my favorite, because I can have once per year. And preferably with an Italian winter to burn the calories. So it's the kind of, well, for the not Italian, it's the kind of lasagna, but filled by ricotta cheese and spinach. And it's so yummy and amazing.
Oh my gosh. I cannot help but ask you, are you a good cook?
This is the wrong question, Ali. If you ask an Italian woman, she's not an Italian woman if she doesn't know how to cook, right?
Oh, of course. But again, someone who's a Wonder Woman like you, who managed to find the time for everything that you've done, I thought maybe you took away from something else to compensate. But then, hats off. Bravo.
I was posting on Instagram. The first question when you date an Italian woman that an Italian guy will ask, how are you able to do your own sauce? So to be fair, I'm not the best Italian chef, but I have my own sauce. Vegetarian ragu, so it's okay. I'm there. I'm covered.
I'm not going to ask you for the secret recipe.
I'm covered with that.
What's your favorite either band, musician, painter, artist?
My favorite painter, it's Picasso.
Okay.
Because it's simple, powerful. He's talking about war in a very simple and touching way. And of course, everybody reminds the dove of Picasso. So it gives me, I somehow connect to the United Nations and my idea that we need to bring peace to this world.
Wonderful. What's your favorite movie?
Oh, Dead Poets Society. I mean, who doesn't remember the scene where all the students stand on their desk, say, Captain, oh my captain. That's, I still have goosebumps.
Yeah, I have chills as well. Dead Poets Society, one of the greatest movies ever made. What's your favorite opera?
Well, if I would be also a good singer, who I'm not, I would sing some what you call aria from it. But without any doubt, the Don Giovanni of Mozart. And the reason is that my mom, when I was 13, gave me as a present for my birthday. And since then, I couldn't stop hearing and hearing again. Non più andrai. Okay, I stop here because it would be very bad.
Please. Are you going to release an album soon or going to perform somewhere?
I think I'm not a good singer. Out of the shower.
I'm sure if you put your mind to it, you will excel at it like you've done at many other things that you've done in your life. Okay. This could be a tricky question right now. What's your favorite book?
No, I love it.
Okay. Tell us.
You will laugh because if I answer you The Little Prince, you will think, oh, this is it's a book for babies or kids. Again, maybe I go back to simplicity. What will save the world will be beauty, simplicity, and auto-irony, and of course, faith and humanity. I guess you need to be simple. So it's a simple book that if you don't read among the lines, you might consider a kid's book. But every single sentence and concept of that book, it's one of the pillars of my growth. So So I would advise everybody, have a little prince in your house, share it, and be a little bit like the little prince. You talk about curiosity. The Little Prince was driven by curiosity. The author is a pilot, actually. And he was, in the book, moved by this curiosity going from planet to planet, discovering the universe. And each of the planets taught him something. But two major encounters were the most relevant ones. One with the fox, where you learn about love, and one with the rose. And he said, I think it was very interesting, he said, if you want to create bond with anybody, you need to come every day at the same time. That's what we call bonding. And the rose was saying, I'm like all the other roses, but I'm not because I'm the one you watered every day. So there are many, many concepts, and you don't truly see things exception when you see things with the eyes of your heart. So I guess it's an interesting book.
Excellent. I guess I know the answer to my next question. What's your favorite animal?
That's the easy one. The most powerful, the most free, elegant, wild. I'm not talking about myself. The horse, clearly.
And you identify with that magnificent creature.
I don't dare.
Wow. I'm going to ask you about your role model.
Clearly my grandmother, Nellie. I named my dog after her because I found her the day of my birthday. I admire her, God bless her, for her perfectly teaching myself and everybody was around her the role that a woman should perform in society, in family, and the importance of roles. I'm not talking professionally. She was a very good teacher. So all the culture, the education comes from her. Maybe some idea of the opera as well. But the way she embraced her marriage, the relationship with my grandfather, the way she educated her sons, is something I hope I will have the opportunity in life to follow in my private life.
Very touching. We come to our last question. What's your favorite city?
Wow.
For someone well-traveled as you are, it's going to be a difficult pick, I guess.
I should be fair. I need to put 3 cities at the same level.
We'll take that. Go ahead.
I think I have 2 cities I can call home, and the third one I can call an inspiration. So, of course, I'm from Milano. So I cannot say I don't love Milano. It's home. I love Dubai. It's my second home. It's vibrant. It's dynamic. I admire the leadership. I admire the opportunities. It's cosmopolitan. And also has a very strong nature. I love riding in the desert. I love the sea. So where you can find the nature and the city together in such a dimension. Of course, I guess New York is the American dream that became, I would say, nowadays the Italian Arabian dream. But what I really like is the dynamism, the opportunities, and maybe a different approach.
Wonderful. Dr. Celeste Cecilia Lo Turco, we at The Inners, thank you very much for being with us today. Truly moving stories, very, very inspiring, and also very entertaining. That's the secret formula for great success and fun. And we'll be more than happy to have you for a follow-up session in the coming future.
It will be my honor and pleasure. Thank you so much, Ali. Shukran jazilan. Grazie mille.
Ahlan wa sahlan. Prego. Grazie mille a te. Hello, Inners community. Hope you enjoyed this session. We'd like to know your comments and thoughts. Most importantly, please do share the episodes and the micro content. The purpose of this podcast is to exchange experiences and share knowledge and raise awareness. So be part of the change, create your waves, let the ripple effect reach to everyone, where all of good action comes full circle. And please do remember to hit the like button and the subscribe button, and I'll see you next session.